Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Shipyard Champions. Today we have a very difficult dilemma. Your old task force has been caught off guard by the enemy. Your battleships were in the middle of gun maintenance when an unexpected fleet appeared on the horizon. Guns trained on your ships. Your battleships need 15 minutes to be able to operate the main guns. All crew, including engine crew, will be needed to get the guns operational, meaning no movement for your battleships. You must make a decision. Do you want to have all the crew working on getting the guns online, or just half your crew, meaning it will take 30 minutes to get your guns operational? However, you can maneuver your ship on slow speed, which is half of maximum speed. The choice is yours. That's a pretty difficult dilemma. Now, the enemy is no slouch. They have 5 battleships, they have 3 heavy cruisers, they have 5 lights, and they have 4 destroyers. And they have a 10-year tech advantage. This is a deadly combination, especially considering that either in the first 15 or 30 minutes I will not be able to return fire with the main guns on my battleships. As such, I'm just going to either sit there for 15 minutes and hope that I don't die, or I'm going to try and maneuver my ships a bit, especially with light cruisers and destroyers about with torpedoes. That might be preferable. And just, well, suffer the gunfire for 30 minutes before being able to return fire with the main armament. Of course, you can get some, let's say, creative ways out of this. Because what I can do is have a battleship, or a dreadnought rather, that is capable of dishing it out potentially with big secondary guns. Big 8.9s with long barrels might still be able to inflict some damage, because only the main guns are currently impeded. Now, let's make sure that we have a battleship that's capable of taking some hits. I'm running with the Spanish today, and I have the Dreadnought Improvement Project running. As for the requirement, the fuel must be set to minimum on all ships. To avoid fleeing in your old ships, use your fuel wisely. Thankfully, we do get oil, which boosts it somewhat, and gear turbines, and of course, having a funnel also should boost it. As for my main guns, if they're essentially unavailable for, well, let's say a quarter of the battle, that means I might not want to invest that much in them. Let's make these things go about 20 knots. Oh, we could probably do a bit more than that. Wait. Oh, never mind. 24 knots. This thing is rated for 22.5, so that should be sufficient. Let's improve the armor quality. Only Crypt 2. That is disappointing. It is 1915 after all. Let's make sure we have a torpedo blister, because even as I am maneuvering, I might take a hit. And give me an unbalanced rudder. I want to be able to, even at low speed, well, I'm not sure if I'm strictly able to dodge, but we're going to have a pretty good try. Stereoscopic rangefinding and advanced radios. Okay, then for the main guns. We get access to the 18-inch Mark 1. That's a bit big, I think, for what I need. And, well, it is the Dreadnought Improvement Project that I'm running, so it is possible to cause extensive fires, but is very rare. Yeah. How about this? I'll make the ship very wide. That should allow it to easily house a few more 8-inch guns. And yeah, these things can turn. You just gotta motivate them a little. These things can turn. But can they still turn if they're 8.9s? That is the question. I think they can. Is it possible to set up a barbette? Yes. Oh, whoops. It's a bit of a big deletion there. So I can set up those barbettes. That allows me a whole lot of flexibility with where I place my turrets. Good. So we're going to have the dual barbettes for medium guns. And we're going to go and set up those secondary 8s. There, there, there. Ooh, you got pretty poor field of fire. Oh, you don't? Like, make up your mind. Do you or do you not have a poor field of fire? You do not have a poor field of fire. Excellent. Increase to 8.9. Increase barrel length. And, yes. Some things are going to have a poor field of fire now. Look, what is it, right? Can you or can you not turn? You cannot turn. And I cannot exactly move these things either. Okay. So they do have the room next to the secondary tower, but not next to the primary tower. Okay, fine. We'll put another 8.9er over there. Synchronize these secondaries. And I also need to add a bunch of armor. I think the main guns are going to be more instrumental for being able to eventually punch out those big battleships of theirs. Well, assuming that they are going to be using big battleships. I don't need a turret there. At least not two of them. Let's go for an enlarged like that. We got Mark III 13s. Reload's far better. You're looking at 54 seconds versus 80 seconds. And if you want to look at the 18s, well, way over 3 minutes. With a very low chance of actually hitting your target. Let's say 10,000 meters out, 6.1 to 7.5. Wait. Oh, they already come with a long barrel. Hold on. How long of a barrel? Whoa. Why not? Live a little. Yeah, that. That will not turn. Of course it won't turn. We're going to put this thing over here. Make it a free spinning turret. Sit. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Put this a bit farther that way. Yeah, you're just a bit long. That's what she said. Yeah, that fits. Reason for me to put these things on barbettes is to allow for additional secondaries. So additional 8.9s. I can have another one sitting just here. If and when the game feels like it is cooperating. I can have another one just about there. Because this ought to keep at least the destroyers and maybe the cruisers off of me. Let's make sure that these things can actually be useful. I might have to sacrifice some of my newly found speed because I simply can't house that. Also the double hull bottom's going to go. We'll go with cap ballistics. We're going to go with heavy shells with 2 powder. What's my self-explosion chance? 12. 44. 60%. You're not exactly selling this thing to me, are you? 31. No, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. Barbettes might be able to push it down a bit. Let's set these things to 20 knots. And then armor them up. Give me a fore belt of 6 inch, aft belt of 6 inch. A main deck of about 5 inches. A superstructure of 3 inches if we can fit that. 15 inch main belt. And is it possible to install some, what is that, casemate 2 inchers? For additional destroyer deterrence? I don't really expect these things to be extremely useful, but every little bit of firepower can help. Range? 5 clicks? Oof. Can we fit a 3 incher? And then upgrade the 3 inch barrel? Turn it into a 3.9? Yeah. It doesn't really get you a whole lot of range, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I do appear to have a... Oh, hello. There's not really a whole lot of point having these things on the barbettes now, I think. So I can save 88 tons there. Put another 8.9er. Come here. Right over there. Okay. Saves me a bit of weight. And maybe I can put some additional 5 inchers along the sides, because torpedo launchers cannot really be installed. Well, beyond that, I don't really think they're going to have range. Torpedoes, range, here. 8 clicks. 8 clicks. What the hell? We have access to 24-inch... No, not in 1915. No, 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 no. I refuse to believe that, and I'm not going to exploit that. I think that is wrong. As for my HE shells, I'm thinking if I go capitalistic on these 18s, I can actually get quite a bit of punishment out of the HE shells. The AP shells should be able to pulverize pretty much whatever they happen to hit. And with semi-ballistic shells, they might get a little slightly lower ricochet chance. As for those heavy shells, I think that's also adding to my flash fires. Yeah, 5.4, that's better. Okay, armor then. 8 here, 8 there, 20 here, 4 there, nope, 3 there, 16 there. How are the turrets? The casemates have some armor, the main guns have a lot of armor. The barbettes are sticking out quite far, so let's upgrade those. Give me like, whoops, give me like 9 inches of barbette armor. Yeah, it's a bit much. 8, 14, there. Okay, we got a 0.4 weight offset with 6 tons remaining. Throw it on the conning tower. Done. One ship done. Heavy cruiser, next. The heavy cruiser is capable of firing and is also capable of housing torpedo launchers. So that's nice. These torpedo launchers might come in very handy to at least break up the enemy formation. They're starting at only 14 clicks out. So that gives me, well, some concern. Yeah, 15,000 tons. All right. You guys can be fairly quick, I think. 19 knots. Oh. Okay, you're not that quick then. Give me better engines, give me better oil. Unbalanced rudder for dodging. Citadel, anti-flood, armor. Armor. More armor. All the armor. There. Okay, what are we going to build with this thing? I'm thinking that they're going to have to be a bit of a stand-in battleship. Because my battleships can't fire their main guns, but the cruisers can. And I got access to the 11-inch Mark III. So I might as well use it. Let's give him a... let's say a half and half. So we're going to go for a Graf Spee-esque design. Which means we're going to have a super firing... Where is the second... Huh? Whatever. We're going to have a secondary gun overwatching the main turret. And thereby being able to provide a bit of additional firepower. I might be able to make it a 6. Maybe a big 6-inch gun. Like a 6.9. Nah, let's go for just rate of fire with these. Electro-hydraulic turrets. Enhanced. Standard. Barbettes. TNT. Upgrade to cordite. Sorry, 2-powder. And when it comes to these shells... These things can definitely land a punch. But I think they'll most likely ricochet. This should not ricochet and inflict, especially against slightly poorly armored opponents, a lot of damage. That is the plan, anyway. These things can freely spin around. That's good. Let's make sure that these things have a lot of longevity. I'm going to put 8 inches of armor on them. And when it comes to radio, I don't really need that. Veteran crew. I'm going to just mostly disregard these casemates, because I don't feel like using them. Put this here. Now we've got a very nice coverage of the 6-inch guns. We can engage most anything. Can we put something else on here? Where's that casemates? I don't want these. These have a far better field of fire. As for the torpedo launchers... I'm sorry, you're installing that next to the ship. Good luck to getting to that ladder. Nice try. Torpedo launcher here. That was a range of 8. I can live with that. I can make him fast. But I don't think that's going to really help. It's probably going to make him, what, 6? 4! 4 clicks! No thank you. I'll stick to standard propulsion on the 18-inch torpedoes. Okay, bit of tonnage left. Most likely going to go into armor, because I want to feel a bit safer aboard these ships. Let's put some additional on the conning tower. As for the guns, I don't want to do anything about their diameter. So that should be fine. Increase the barbettes there. Increase the turret top armor. Not by that much. Bit more. There. Perfectly balanced. Perfect. Excellent. Next up, the destroyer. Now, the destroyers, I'm not that... Well, actually, they got 8 kilometer range. The enemy starts out at 14. We might be able to race up to them and give them the good news. So let's make these things 35 knots. It is going to come at the engine efficiency, but I can live with that. Range is nothing. Oh, it's one of these. Where the main tower doesn't fit. And that's the refit as well. Ugh. Are you going to be like that about it? Fat DD. Even the fat DD doesn't fit? Okay. Fine. Be like that. Oh, now we're overweight with the DD. Gotta pull it back down. There. Okay. Secondary tower. Yeah, that's a very simple secondary tower compared to the massive thing that we have up there. Put me an angled funnel over there. We need at least one main gun. Yeah, we're gonna at least need a bit more than that, I suspect. Engine efficiency is pretty good. With induced, I can still travel quite far. Alright. Double, anti-flood, reinforced, shaft, aux, better turning, unbalanced rotors. These guys at least get acoustic, so if the enemy has a torpedo coming in, I'll be notified. And I'm thinking I'm gonna mostly use these as just torpedo boats. Ooh. Okay, fine. Switch to 30 knots. Need to get some displacement in order to drop torps. Main gun. I don't know, put a pea shooter on the bow. Maybe a torpedo launcher right behind it. Yeah. Can't do that. It's a 5 inch. Let's go with a 4 inch. Hold on, can I use a barbette? No. Tiny one. There. 4 inch. 1, 2. These things can benefit from reload, but, well, the chance of them actually inflicting a lot of damage, I think, is fairly minimal. I'm going to go with maximum AP shells on these to engage other destroyers. And hopefully they'll be able to take at least some of the pressure off of the capital ships. Increase turret rotation speed. Give me armor wherever you can. Ship's a bit heavy. Try not to get hit on the decks. That'd be helpful. Do I need to sub this thing to single hull? Yeah. Okay. Can I put these on both sides? So, send a spread of, let's say, 9. That's a bit heavy. Okay, fine. We'll just put these in a row. Although, actually, if I can put my main superstructure a bit farther back, I can create a slightly larger amount of torpedoes, or at least a slightly larger grouping. I don't want to have these things grouped too tightly. I'd rather have them spread out a bit more. There. So now we're going to have, let's say, 2 launchers pushing 6 torps out there and 1 pushing out there. So we're going to have them a bit split. And hopefully this will work. As for the rest of the displacement, I have about 30 tons left. I'm not exactly sure where to put that. Maybe just put the armor back on. And hope that the ship is going to, well, mostly survive on its speed. Yeah. It won't do that. Whatever, cramped quarters. It's not going to be a comfortable boat. But don't worry, you won't have to live long enough to actually spend a lot of time aboard. Yeah, that sounds about as grim as it is. Additional armor here. I think we're fine. Okay, we got the San Agustin, the San Cristobal, and the Ariete. Let's go. So, decision time. Do I want to have my ships be perfectly stationary and just be able to fire in 15 minutes? Or do I want to have them be able to maneuver very slowly, but take 30 minutes to fire the guns. I'll take slow speed. So we're going to take 30 minutes before we're able to fire. It took the AI very, very long to generate the ships for this battle. So I cannot wait to see what sort of miscreants we're facing today. Yeah, that's a lot of secondaries. For no particular reason. We got a main gun. And then we got a barbette. And then we got another main gun? Like, what is that? That's a quadruple 8.3. Okay, might have been Brother Monroe's mod that did something funky to the designer, I'm not sure. Main guns. You're using 17.8s. That's actually pretty good news, because that means they're second tier guns. And as such, not terribly good reload, not terribly accurate. Could be relatively survivable. Now, these ships have spawned 19 clicks out, even though the starting range was set to 14,000. So that means that there's something closer. There's probably a DD or two hiding between the others. Let's have my DDs go forth. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing here, but I guess that we're just messing up with the divisions. I mean, the Pluton could have easily been joined, or could have easily joined the Turia, and we got the Estrella. Why isn't the division designer a thing? There. Okay. These guys can go 31 knots, they can dump a couple of torpedoes into the water, but they're only 18 inch. They're not that likely to make a big impression on the enemy. Also, in order to get through, with this being the Dreadnought Improvement Project, I need to make sure that these guys don't have any escorts. Because if they do, those will detect the torpedoes. What are you? You're a DD with 10 torpedo tubes. And a pretty decent amount of guns. Okay, how dangerous are those torpedoes? Ooh. Okay. It's not terribly fun. My ships are heading in the wrong direction. I'm going to tell them to head away from the enemy. And the heavy cruisers, well, these boys are going to have to work together. These are, at least for now, my makeshift battleships. The priority for these ships is to engage the enemy cruisers and escorts. And the same can be said for my battleships, because these 8.9s can head out to 14 clicks, but we're not there yet. These DDs, maybe I can smoke up my main line, and thereby be able to at least prevent some damage. And maybe even just conceal them entirely. Yeah, they've lost sight of the Estrella. That, I think, was a destroyer that concealed itself. Are these things considered to be behind smoke for you? Yeah, they are. Sort of. Target behind smoke, yes. Okay, so this seems to be working somewhat. These heavies, I'm going to slow them down a touch. And we're going to engage these small things. With these 11 inchers and our current accuracy, that probably won't happen anytime soon. Put all your secondaries on this. The DD group on the other side is just about to enter torpedo range. But the capital ships are not there yet. So let's continue to run away and potentially attract some torpedo fire here. I think that would be more useful. Just use them as a bit of a lightning rod for all of the attention that these ships might be giving them. Now, these heavy cruisers need to be firing armor piercing. It's what they fire best. As for the 8.9s, semi-ballistic. Yeah, we're going to fire semi-ballistic with the armor piercing, or the secondary shells. So, the 8.9s. Ow. First bit of damage on the Victoria. That 18-incher looks really proud, shall we say. Unfortunately, we can't use it yet. I'm interested in seeing if this thing will be useful, because it's only a Mark 1. As a rule, I generally don't use those, simply because they're so unreliable. Okay, target this, that's a CL. That's a CL with 8.5-inch guns. Dude, you're serious. Ooh! You got hit by a smooth criminal. No, by a friendly destroyer. No such thing as a friendly friendly torpedo. I think this is a good a time as any to talk about the scoring. If you are able to sink all the enemy ships, or if they do that for you, you're able to get 100 points. For each enemy battleship you sink, you gain 25 points. For each enemy heavy cruiser or light cruiser, you gain 10 points. And for each enemy DD, 5 points. For each of your battleships that survive, you gain 30 points. Heavy cruisers, light cruisers, 20 points. And destroyers, 10 points. Alright, you are not likely to survive. So we're just going to dump torps in the water and call it a day. Essentially jump off the ship. As for these, what's your reload? 576 seconds. Translation, just shy of 10 minutes. I can dump... Yeah, I can launch 2 salvos. We're gonna have these guys get away. If they still can. That thing's almost gone. Can we please finish this off? Put some casemate or put some secondaries on that. Now, I haven't seen any... Wow, 8,000 damage. I haven't seen any torpedo launchers on these ships, but they have them. And they range out to 6.8 kilometers. So that means we're going to be vigilant as to the potential damage that these can put out. This should be a pretty easy kill, right? Yeah, but accuracy is negligible. Torpedoes away. Here we go. There, and we got one here. They likely have detected those, but I've also detected theirs. All back emergency. If that wrecks the engines, so be it. These torpedoes are going to go and potentially pay a little visit to these other DDs. Let's not go there. This is good news, actually. They wasted a lot of torpedoes on a sinking destroyer. I can appreciate that. You guys, we're not going to go into the enemy fleet just yet. You guys are going to turn around. Okay. This light cruiser is just simply refusing to sink. Still have 20 minutes before I'm able to use the 18s. Yikes. Feels like a very long time. What are the battleships currently targeting? Wait, we did damage? Yes. The battleships, in fact. But we have some slightly bigger issues over here. This is when these 8.9s are going to have to carry these battleships because, well, I can limp out of the battle while my crews are working on the guns, but the only defense I have is 8.9s, and if they get really close to 2-inch guns. But if these DDs get to 2 kilometers, or sorry, to 5 kilometers, I think we're going to get a hit anyway. Ariete is probably going to be gone, and Minho, yeah. There goes the Ariete. Turn the other way. You're not on torpedo range yet. Light cruiser Comus is fast, 33 knots. Torpedoes, 8.9s. Okay. How detectable? Minus 73%. They're not fast. They're doing 28 knots, but you just can't see them. We got a pretty good accuracy on this DD right now. These are closer. Heavies. Oh, guys, how are you faring? You're pushing back the Aurora, which got hit by a torpedo and by a couple of 11-inch guns. Okay, I'm going to push you guys into the fight a bit more, because at the moment you're not really contributing that much. Like 21 points of damage here, 800, none and none. We're going to do better. So, a head flank. Get in there. One down. One down. Oh. You're right. 4 torpedoes hit you. The AI torping each other again. But I find it difficult to discern what their target even was. Unless it was the Mansfield torping... Ah, must have come from over here. The Delhi, the Perth, could have been them. As the torpedo leaves the torpedo tube, there's no such thing as a friendly torpedo. Now thankfully my ships are surviving, and it looks like the battleships, for now, haven't done a whole lot of damage. Because the damage that they have done has been lackluster with those 17-inch guns, but the 8-inch guns have definitely been deadly to the destroyers, along with the 7s. So those light cruisers are very good at their jobs. This is not the right way to go. Yeah. At least I detected these torps, most likely with the hydrophones on the Turia. Get some warning, but not a whole lot. We're gonna have to push these Ds away, but they've already fired. That's bad news. That's bad news. Oh boy. Turn. Turn. Ow. Ship's also burning quite a bit. Good lord, are you gonna try to ram me or something? What is this? Where's the Kempenfeld this close? Oh no! No! San Agustin, take the Ren. Victoria, take out the Black Prince. The Black Prince, if she gets close, can dump torpedoes right on my ships. Right there on the quarterdeck, they got torpedoes. So that's very, very bad news for me. Because I really don't want to lose a battleship before it even has a chance to fire its main guns. Heavy cruisers. You guys are attracting attention from the battleships now. Okay, fine. Switch targets to the Edgar. With these 360 degrees spinning turrets, we should be able to acquire that thing pretty quick. Turret rotation speed's 4 degrees per second, so that's really good. We need to start killing off some of their DPS, and I think the Edgar and potentially the Aurora after it are fair game. Save the torpedo launch. How are the battleships doing with their flooding? The Infanta was almost about to speed that thing up. Kempenfeld is down. But this heavy cruiser is just going for the ram. This is not necessarily bad, because at this range they'll be completely unable to launch their torpedoes. But they're not... Oh, they're not even targeting the battleship that they're passing. They're targeting the other one, the Victoria. We're even doing a ram now. You're heavily armored. Yeah. What about their battleships? Not bad. Pretty evenly spread out. Oh. Kill off those torpedoes, if you will. This DD is definitely getting the attention it deserves. 7% buoyancy. Go on. All this with, whatever, AP, HE, I don't care, so long as we disable that torpedo launcher. 12 more minutes before we can actually start firing with our main guns. The Edgar refuses to sink. Are we even hitting it? Yeah, it's all ricocheting. Oh, not all of it. There goes Edgar. Excellent. Now, let's point our guns at this thing, because Comus most likely just sent a whole greeting card to the Almirante Cervera. Armor? Nothing. Paper armor. Okay. Now these DDs were turned away from the fight because they had a bit of a torpedo warm environment here. But thankfully that is past. Oh god, the Delhi likely torped the... They torped the Victoria? Oh, okay. Well, these 8.9s are proving useful. We're killing off a heavy cruiser with it. How's the damage here? It's adding up, but it's not fast enough. I guess to slow down a smidge, because I am concerned about torpedoes, and I'll barely be able to dodge them. I know they've already been launched from the Comus, I just don't know when. And exactly where they're targeted, but I'm suspecting they might have been targeted here. Oh, flash fire. Could be the Comus. Status on the battleships. San Agustin, healthy. Victoria, mostly healthy. Infanta, reverse engines. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I'm hearing a lot of bonks. Oh, the Perth is taking torpedo. Oh, Jesus. Perth. Shall we not? Who's doing all that damage? A light cruiser. 10 minutes. Ow. The Infanta is now taking a lot of torpedo damage. Her buoyancy is falling quickly. The Perth is... No! We got some engine issues here. Which one of you was reversing again? You were? Yeah, the Infanta was reversing. Augustine taking a lot of damage now. Oh, we sunk that Comus. That's good. Now we're going to sink the Black Prince. Pick your own ammo. Figure it out. I need to babysit these battleships. Oh, the battleship has... well, ditched an 18-inch gun. Which means that the whole ship is essentially useless. It's just an 8.9-inch gun cruiser. Doesn't strictly make it useless, of course, but... it's not exactly as useful as I would like. As for the other battleship, the Victoria... she's seen better days. But she might survive. Good damage. Good damage. Come on. Sink this thing. Good damage there on the Black Prince. Destroyed main tower. They have 39% crew losses. So they're likely going to fall very quickly. Anything can kill that ship now. The Infanta... well... it floats, but that's about all you can say at this point. There's not much left of that ship. 9 minutes until I can start firing these 18s. Though at this point I'm not sure how much use they're going to be. So it's time, after all of these escorts have been eliminated, to go after their battleships. Their battleships have many bulkheads but cramped crew quarters. Which might give me some options. Turia is going to continue. Pluton is going to continue. The Estrella, however, is not. The Estrella is going to come to port. We're going to give these guys a... well, let's say a full torpedo salvo to the face. Potentially sinking one of them, or at least crippling it. There goes the Infanta after having survived 16 torpedoes. Well, sort of survived. The last bit about the survival didn't quite come through. Aurora is still refusing to sink. Babysit these guys. Torpedo this target. Smoke yourself up because they do have secondaries and they're likely to test fire those on you. You can test fire, or you can fire against this, and you can fire against Goliath. Execute. Smoke up and prepare to get out. Torpedoes away. Torpedoes away from the Estrella. Torpedoes away from the Turia. Excellent. Destroyers, disengage. Survive if you can. 7 minutes till we can activate the main guns. We still have battleships fighting destroyers and light cruisers everywhere. And my heavy cruisers are just not cutting it against the Aurora. Use armor piercing. One light cruiser down. Delhi. Prometheus might launch. Delhi has not. So Yeoman can launch. Focus your efforts on this ship. 6 minutes until potentially we're going to be able to use the guns. I'm saying potentially because I'm not sure if I'll have any guns by then. Got some good torpedo hits on the Russell over there. I'm not so sure if the Turia is going to make it out alive. Hit on the Goliath. And these torpedoes can still pose... No, they won't pose a threat to the Barfleur and the Nelson. I'm very concerned about the longevity of the San Agustin, because she is very close to flooding. Couple more hits amidship, and that ship's no longer here. Oh crap, did you just launch or what? I hope that the torpedoes got destroyed, but I'm not sure. Because if not, then they're about to clash in with the Victoria. You torpedoed a heavy cruiser? Oh, you torpedoed this. There's the torp. How are your battleships looking? Ah, the Perth is down. Russell took the torp like a champ and just ran with it. Goliath. Some damage, and Irresistible is perfectly fine. Now, the forebelt and aft belt are going to be very susceptible to the damage that the 18-inch guns can do. But by the looks of it, I'll have two 8-inch guns, the one surviving on the Victoria, to fire. Everything else is gone. Use armor piercing. The Victoria herself has plenty of issues. Torpedo launchers have been disabled. Target the Prometheus and finish it off. Good lord, why are you still here? Why can we not pen this? Because I believe we could. Get the damage in. No. Here. Oh, we're trying to finish off a heavy cruiser with secondary guns. Yeah, explains why we're not getting results. Explains a lot. Some damage over here on the Brilliant. Come on, punish it. The thing is fully broadside onto you. There you go. These DDs have survived, so I can now re-establish the division. And make sure that these things are eventually going to be ready for another pass. As for the other destroyer here, well, she can essentially just retreat, because outside of that, she can't do much. And if she sinks, that's another loss. Uh-oh. Increase speed to flank, because we are seeing a lot of torpedoes come this way. 4% structural on the Aurora, 2%. Come on, wrap it up. 0.6, 0.4, gone. Excellent. Cruisers. Split the division. Everybody push into the enemy battleships. Not the safest course of action, but I need results. And I need them fairly quickly, because I won't have a whole lot of other ships that can actually deal with any kind of a battleship. Finish off the Prometheus, please. Have the 2-inchers done anything? Yes, they have. Not disappointed. 1 minute until I can activate the guns. Conning tower damage on the Brilliant really doesn't bother me because... Well, it really doesn't help me because the torpedoes are the real threat on this ship. 31,000 damage. 29k of that is the torpedo. Oh, the Victoria's getting completely butchered before she can even use her main guns. 15 seconds. 5, 3, 1. Okay, main guns online. Now we might be listing too much for that 18-incher to actually be able to hit something. Wait, you ricocheted... Don't tell me you ricocheted an 18-inch gun. Or an 18-inch shell. Ready weapons. Target, well... whatever you can, I guess, but you're probably too badly listing. Okay, those torpedoes are not a problem anymore. These things reload in 2 minutes and change. That's an awful long time. Yeah, San Agustin has no capabilities of firing the guns because they can't turn very quickly. I simply cannot get those on target. Alright, you are going to intercept the Irresistible. Republica is with you. Sorry, Republica, most likely. You're going to go that way, you're going to go that way. I'm going to try and focus my efforts on the wounded ships. So that at least I can get some points off of sinking an enemy battleship. Victoria has survived quite a lot of punishment. 4 torpedoes, 8-inch shell fire. So far, most of the secondary guns from the battleships are falling right off the side. Like, they're not doing any kind of damage. But I'm not sure if that's going to persist. Come on, can we finally sink the Prometheus? There's not a whole lot left of her. Take it out. Admiral Cervera. I do need you to get a little closer to this ship before you're going to be able to use your torps. Unless I'm willing to take the risk of torpedoing my own ship. Which I am not. Which I am certainly not. Come to starboard, slow down a touch. Torpedoes away. Point blank range, but they're still only 18-inch. Like, as good as these torps are, they might shrug them off. 12,000 points of damage. Quickly add yours. Save your torps, hard to port. Finish off the Prometheus. Come on! Torps away. Excellent. You're going to target the Prometheus, you're going to target the Brilliant. You're going to come to port. You're going to save your torps. And they're dodging. Bonk. They got a good amount of flooding going on, but I don't really see that killing the ship. Maybe it's going to buy me some time. If this thing lists enough. But that's a lot of ifs. And, you know, hope's not a strategy and all that. Where's the other battleship? Oh, you're firing. Yep, you're firing. Okay, so which one is the best to take down? Let's go with San Cristobal. Save it. Well, yeah, we can easily take this thing out. Or have a pretty good go at it. Torpedo this. You're targeting a light cruiser. The Brilliant? No. Get torps away from the Cristobal. Torps on the Santa Barbara have been destroyed. Oh boy. I actually ran into a dud there. Yeah, the Irresistible is perfectly fine taking a couple of torpedoes and doesn't seem to have a whole lot of issues with them. We do have the Republica with her port side launcher having been used. I need to very much reposition this thing in order to use that starboard launcher. Okay, a couple of hits on the Goliath. Nice little collision over there. You got no 17-inch ammo left. Interesting. So that makes you far less of a threat. You were targeting the Irresistible. Have you done anything? No. Time and time again, the 18-inch guns just kind of fail me. At least we've taken out the small trash. You're using AP against the battleship. Pretty heavily angled. Let's go for the HE. Range, 5 kilometers. So on paper we can pen about 10 inches of armor. If we can shoot. Which we can't. At least these guys can start moving, which I should have done a couple minutes ago, but I forgot about that. You guys should not quite be that far away, but I completely forgot about you micromanaging everything else. Ow! Dude, what the fuck? No such thing as a friendly torp. The Irresistible is so close to sinking. Her buoyancy is still dropping. I think we're gonna need a little more. You just blocked another 18-incher. Naturalmente. This is a very tough challenge for me. Don't exactly know how to be able to sink these ships. Especially considering that these guys are all full health. Like, I can torpedo the Barfleur with the starboard side. I can do that, but it's like a scratch to them. The only thing that might kill these things is a flash fire? Something that really suddenly does a lot of damage to the ship. And I'm honestly not sure what other options I have. Because I can try ramming them. But I don't believe a ram is going to really do it. Oh! Well, that's nice. That is very nice. Crew losses. Why are you not launching, Cristobal? Because I'm using the wrong launcher. Okay. Sun 1. Everybody, put your main guns on the battleship, the Russell. And we're just going to fire whatever you guys... No, actually, we're going to fire just HE. Maybe we can cause crew loss. And maybe we can just make that work enough to cause the ship to surrender. Because I'm not exactly counting on an extensive fire. The chances of that happening are exceedingly low. So I'm not even going to bother. I think crew loss might go. And that also reduces their reload and efficacy of their damage control. So it's a snowball effect. (18-inch) shell fell short there. San Agustin is still shooting and still trying to turn around. That's gonna take you a while, isn't it? Where's that launcher? Starboard side. Okay. Whatever. We're gonna turn hard over to starboard. Slow the ship down. Maria. Yeah, 29% crew loss on the Russell by now. This is adding up. 30%. 31. This is adding up. Perhaps this will work. The Russell, please, gentlemen. 33. Even 11-inch guns can really hurt battleships like this. 35. Ooh, the Victoria is about to go down. That's going to be a problem. Because it means that my main punching bag is sunk. They might target the other battleship after it, but I kind of doubt it. Use HE. Continuously firing at this thing. 38% crew loss. Do I really still have all of my cruisers alive? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Well, they are armored to the gills, so I guess that makes sense, but it's still a little surprising considering the amount of violence that's being thrown at these ships. Yeah, they can be penned anywhere and everywhere. 43.6. Next target is going to be the Nelson. Lost 13% of the crew. Okay, now you're going to speed up. Power through the turn. 45. Surrendered. Next. Everybody. Focus your efforts on Nelson. That's what we're targeting. That's the weakest link at the moment. There goes the Victoria. 12%, 14% crew loss. 15. 16. 17. 19, 20. 23. 27. Now we're getting somewhere. 29. Just burn away the crew. It's not pretty, but it seems to be effective. 32, 33. 35. Keep it up. Okay, so is this torpedo launcher available? Yes or no? It is. Torpedo launch. Although I might be able to... No, we're going to save that torpedo. Maria. Oh, your torpedo launcher's been destroyed. That's unfortunate. Both of them have been destroyed. So you got no firepower there. You also got no firepower. I think Nelson's just about gone. 40.5%. What about the San Agustin? Well, she's trying to pitch in. We haven't hit with an 18-inch gun ever. Come on, boys. Why are we not shooting? Why are the 6-inch guns not shooting? Thank you. 41. Hello? Oh, they're all listing. They're banking over so hard that it's impossible for them to fire. So this means I have far less damage potential than I was hoping for. 43.2%. I'll get you. 44, 44.3. I'll get you. There. One battleship left alive. Everybody, let's do it together. Those of you who can still do something, let's go do it. The destroyers are also coming back right about now. Might be worth adding a couple torpedo hits to this ship to cause even more crew loss. 18% crew loss. I think we're able to do it. But wow, this is one of the hardest challenges I've had in a very long time. I don't think that torpedo is going to do a whole lot. That's looking a little better. 30%? Yeah, we got him. We got him. Nope. He's turning away from the torps. 34% crew loss. Come on. 36. Try not to torpedo the battleship. 37, 38. Push it. 39. More torps in the water. 41. 43. Come on. 1%. 44.2. 44.4. 44. Yes! Job done. Oh, that came at a cost. That came at a cost. Okay, so we've taken out 17 ships. Let me add up the scores. If my counting is correct, I was able to sink 5 battleships for a total of 125 points, heavy cruisers for 80, 4 DDs for 20. I have kept 1 battleship alive for 30 points. I have all of my heavy cruisers alive. These things really did quite well. So that's another 100 points. I have 3 DDs alive. That is 30 points each. And as such, I'm getting to, I think, 465. Oh, and I've sunk everything. Correction, 485 points. That's the final score. Whew, that was a long one. I think the biggest contributors here were the heavy cruisers. Damage dealt by the heavy cruisers. 51, 50, 40. Then comes the San Agustin. Damage dealt with the 8-inchers. We got 24k there. We got 21k there. 15k from a DD. Their light cruiser dealt 15 torpedoes in damage for a total of 114, let's say 115,000 damage, but I'm not sure if it was friendly or not. I don't know exactly if this thing torpedoed a friend or a foe. At any rate, be sure to check out the other admirals, linked down below in the description. They too will have to suffer through this challenge, and I'm eager to see how they will do that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for more videos.